Hi guys, Robbo46 here. Now it is time to talk about my hands-on experience with MotoGP 19. I have played the game. I was very fortunate enough to be invited to the MotoGP 19 community event, which was held at Milestone Studios in Milan on May the 10th. And yeah, what an absolutely insane and incredible experience it was. I felt so lucky and so privileged to be invited over there. And it was just absolutely insane. When I was stood in the studios, I was just like, is this actually happening or am I dreaming right now? Because, you know, I've been playing Milestone games since the Superbike games back in the day. So to be stood in the studios, talking to people that work on the games that my channel was basically built upon, it was just really incredible. And, you know, I just felt really incredibly lucky to be picked. There are a few people, of course, that I need to thank before we get started. I want to say a big thank you to Katie in the UK and Sylvia in Milan for sorting out all the travel and everything, and obviously the initial invitation. Also, a big thank you to Milestone Studios for putting on the event and inviting us all out. And of course, for being really awesome people and really friendly, really easy to talk to. And they when they were asking us questions, they really wanted to know what we felt about the game, and they were happy to answer questions that we had, no matter how stupid they were. So a big thank you to them. It was really awesome to see them working on MotoGP 19. We got a little tour around the studio, and yeah, we got to see people working on it, and you can tell that they are passionate about it. So, you know, it is really nice to see, because like I said when I was there, like we don't necessarily get to see usually what happens behind closed doors. I don't know how a game's made. I don't know how it's developed or anything like that. So for me, it was like quite a big thing, because I kind of got to see, you know, how much work goes into making a game. So, you know, it's opened my eyes for sure. So it was an incredible experience, and like I said, I'm just so grateful and humble that I was picked to go. So also I want to thank 78 Hines, who I saw one of his comments on the official MotoGP video game Facebook page about putting my name forward to go to the community event, and I know that a few other people done it as well. So big thank you to you guys. It means a lot that you guys, you know, trust me and trust my views and opinions to want me to go and, you know, test the game and give you guys feedback of it. So that is what I'm going to be doing in this video. I will, of course, be showing you guys some exclusive gameplay of MotoGP 19, and a big thank you to Katie and Milestone as well for supplying the gameplay footage for this video. I really appreciate it. You've got Rossi going around Mugello, you've got him going around Sachsenring, you've got Hayden around Laguna Seca, so a lot of stuff. But I also put like a side-by-side comparison with MotoGP 18 as well. So yeah, MotoGP 19. We had a 40-minute play session with the game, and most of it was unlocked. There are a couple of things that were locked, like the career mode, for obvious reasons. You know, it was like a preview build of the game anyway. But the amount of things that we could actually do on it was pretty incredible. Like the first thing I done, jumped straight into time trial, as I do with every MotoGP game. Pick a track that I'm familiar with, chose Catalunya, chose Valentino Rossi, and went in to do some time trial. But like the other things that we could have a look at was some of the historical events. We could do obviously races. We could have a little look at the helmet livery editor and stuff like that. So, you know, we had quite a lot of freedom to pretty much play what we wanted. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, into time trial at Catalunya. First lap out, I thought, you know what, I've been playing MotoGP 18 quite a bit recently. I'm just going to attack it like I would in MotoGP 18. That didn't work. Within a few corners I had crashed, because the thing that immediately stuck out is that the physics have been tweaked. They're a lot more realistic this time. The braking is a lot more realistic. You can no longer brake stupidly late. You can't hold full front brake as you're tipping into a corner, because otherwise you lose the front. And there was one specific corner I was having quite a few problems with, and that was, I'll put it on screen now, in MotoGP 18, but it's the hairpin towards the end of the lap. Used to go a bit further down and it was quite an open hairpin, but now it's quite a tight hairpin, and I was struggling to get the bike stopped. Like, as you see on screen now, like where I braked in MotoGP 18, I couldn't brake there in MotoGP 19. I had to brake earlier, and it took me a few laps to kind of get that stuck into my brain, because as muscle memory, I just brake where the first bloody like sponsor board is, but couldn't do that, so I had a few crashes there. But once I got used to that, you know, I had a few laps, was building up my lap time as well. But the game feels so much better. Like I said, the braking feels better. The bikes move around a lot more realistically. If you spin up the rear, like the bike bucks and weaves a bit. It moves a little bit more on the brakes. The animation of the rider is a lot smoother, a lot more realistic. The game as a whole plays smoother as well. Looks a bit better as well. One thing that like kind of struck out to me was like the lighting is better. It was like shining off like the headstocks and like different parts of the fairing and that whilst you're playing it, and you know, it was a lot more obvious this time around. So the sound as well has been improved, and they have indeed recorded the bikes for the bike sounds for the games off the actual bikes. So that was pretty cool to find that out as well. And like even the historical bikes as well, they've recorded them, and it was quite interesting to hear the sound guys, like what they have to do to get the sounds. And like to get a historical bike, they either have to go to a manufacturer and find out if they've still got that bike available, or if not, they have to go to private owners and try and persuade them to go to a track so that they can then record the bike for the game. So a lot of work does go into it, but you know, the end result is really, really good. So yeah, really happy with that. Like I said, the game plays super smooth, had no hiccups with like frame rate issues or anything, so all good there. Then after the time trial, I went into a race at Catalonia, because I was obviously getting used to it around Catalonia. So I went into a race. I didn't do a full race weekend, I just done qualifying and the race. Obviously, me being me, and the fact that I play the games at 120% difficulty, that's what I cracked the difficulty up to. So went into Q1 and could not get through to Q2. I struggled really, really badly. Couldn't really put a decent lap together, so ended up qualifying last. So yeah, started last for the race, and initially off the line I managed to make up a few positions into turn 1 and turn 2, made a few more positions up, and then like towards the end of the race it started going a little bit south, because I wore my tyres out. I was overheating them, working them too much, and I started dropping back. So this time around, I know last year one of the big things they were kind of pushing was how important the tyres were in MotoGP 18. Unfortunately, that didn't kind of happen, because all the AI just used soft front, soft rear in every single race, and tyre wear did not affect them. I asked the question at the event, will the tyre wear affect the AI this time around, and will we see them on different compounds? The answer was yes, tyre wear will affect the AI. And yeah, it definitely affects the player, let me tell you. It's the tyre model this time around is really, really cool, because not only obviously do you have to try and conserve your tyres and make sure that they're going to last the race, you have to look after the temperature as well, so that you're not overheating them, because otherwise if you overheat them you're not getting the optimum performance out of them, and then they're going to wear more. So yeah, you have to look after the tyres. And the other really awesome thing about the tyres is that when you're playing career mode or even quick race or whatever, you only get a certain number of tyre allocations per race weekend, just like in real life. So it's going to be quite tactical with the tyres as well, because you don't want to, use your soft tyres too early on in free practice when you want to save them for qualifying. But then if you try and save them for qualifying and then it's wet, then you're going to have some soft tyres which you're not going to use in the race because they're going to be too soft. So, like, you're going to end up just wasting your soft tyres and not using them. But on the other hand, if you're struggling like an FP3 but you want to go straight through to Q2, and you're trying like medium or a hard front and hard rear or whatever, and then you're like, actually I should probably put some softs in just to get a decent lap time going, and you do that, but then you crash and then the tyres go past their optimum, and then you just end up wrecking your chances of qualifying. So you're gonna have to go careful with the tyres, which is really cool. The other thing is as well, you can kind of like scrub in a hard front if you want to, like before a race, like in warm-up. You could use a hard front, just scrub it in a little bit, and then when you go into the race, you got a scrubbed front in. So there's a lot going on with the tyres, which is really awesome, and they definitely will be playing a big part in MotoGP 19, and they will be tyre wear will be affecting the AI this time around. So looking forward to seeing that. But speaking about the AI, on 120%, they were very, very competitive, really, really quick, but they were also really, really fair. It was, I know it sounds really cliche, but it was like playing with humans. It was really bizarre because, in a good way, obviously, like that they do have spatial awareness. This was always like one of my critical points about the MotoGP games, is that they never really had any kind of spatial awareness, not only of themselves but the player as well. So they quite often lean on you and just ram you and stuff like that. But in MotoGP 19, from what I tested, the AI were a lot more human-like. They had spatial awareness. They knew kind of like if they had people around them, they kind of knew roughly where they were. They knew where the player was, so they didn't do anything stupid. If like I'd done some overtakes, some quite harsh overtakes as well, like just shoving up the inside like last minute, they do like sit up a little bit to make sure that you don't have any contact, because they do try and obviously look out and make sure that they don't have contact and stuff like that and don't cause crashes. But super impressed with the neural AI and the fact that they're learning still, they're adapting still, like corner by corner, depending on like whereabouts they are on track and stuff like that, who they got around them. So yeah, like I said, it does sound cliche, but it is like playing against other human players. So really impressed with that. Collisions as well are a lot more forgiving this time around. Previous MotoGP games, you kind of just had to sneeze on someone and they would crash, or you would crash. But they have been improved so much. Like I said, I did do some harsh moves on some of the AI. Had a couple of big collisions, but nothing that caused myself or another rider to crash, which was really good. If it had been MotoGP 18, at least one of us would have crashed, but they're a lot more forgiving, and that bodes really well for online, because there are people out there that just want to annoy other people and will play online just to take people out. That's going to be a lot more difficult for them to do, and obviously if they stop on track or try and go the wrong way, they will become a ghost, so people will just go through them anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. So it is going to be more difficult for people to take people out deliberately, which is really a big positive, because we don't want that. We don't want people doing that. So big hats off to them. Speaking of online, the last 10-minute in the 40-minute session we done an online race. Tested out one of the Amazon servers, and yeah, it was really good. Like literally couldn't see any lag whatsoever. It was at Mugello. I chose DEgITx. I crashed at the first corner because I outbraked myself and went off track, and yeah, it didn't go well the first lap, and then I was pushing way too hard on the first lap to try and catch back up, so I was making a lot of mistakes. I think I had another crash on lap 1 as well. Lap 2, I set the fastest lap of the race, and it was the fastest lap of the race as well when the race was over. I had the fastest lap. That was kind of my little win. But towards the end of the race, on lap 3, I done something stupid as we were going into the S's. I went a bit too wide, put the rear of the bike on the grass, and in previous MotoGP games that would have been absolutely fine. Might have had a little slide or something and then just carried on. MotoGP 19, I put the rear on the grass and it flung me off, it high-sided me. So the grass is a lot less grippy than it has been in previous games, which is really good because you don't want to be putting slick tyres on grass. You don't want to be doing that. So really, really happy in some respects, annoyed that I crashed, but happy that it was my fault. I shouldn't have been in there, but it was nice to that the outcome was a crash. So yeah, that's good. Don't want people going on the grass. Don't do it. To stay on the tarmac is a lot better. You could go a lot faster on the actual track itself. So online, it's shaping up to be really good, and I am that confident of it that I am saying now, right now, I'm announcing that I will be running a league on MotoGP 19. And that's a pretty big deal for me because usually I wait for the game to come out. I do a few tests with the online part of the game. And if it's not quite up to standard, I try and wait for a patch to see if they fix it. Unfortunately, that didn't really happen in MotoGP 18, hence why there's no league for MotoGP 18. But yeah, what I've played of the online session of MotoGP 19, super happy with it. So that's why I'm saying now that I am going to be running a league on MotoGP 19. I will be doing a separate video about that and all the details because I will be running it slightly different this time. But you have to wait for the video to find out details of what's going to be happening, how you can apply for the league and stuff like that. So that will be coming out within the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye on the channel for that. But yeah, League Racing, Robbo's Racing League will be back for MotoGP 19. I am super happy about that and super thrilled and excited. So we've spoken about the gameplay, we've spoken about the sound, the physics. The game looks better, it plays better, the neural AI are awesome and really competitive. The tyres and tyre allocations in the race weekends and career mode. Spoken about online stability and the collisions as well, that they've been improved. I'm pretty much just reciting through my head the things that I had to speak about. Oh, before we left, a few people left the event a bit sooner than others because obviously planes and stuff like that. So those of us that were left towards the end, we got to play on the game a little bit longer, so we had another 20-minute session. So I went in and played Moto 2 and played as Sam Lowe's around Silverstone. Done some time trial to begin with, got really, really comfortable with it. The sound is really, really good. The sound is the Triumph engine, so you don't have to worry about that. They have not just imported the Honda engine sounds from MotoGP 18. They have gone out, recorded the Triumph engine, which is really good because the Triumph engine sounds like an absolute beast. So really happy that it's in the game. Got on really well with the Moto 2s. It was setting really good lap times. Went into the race, didn't do any qualifying. I just went straight to the race. Obviously started at the back of the grid. Made up quite a few positions. And again, towards the end of the race, I kind of overheated my tyres again. Maybe should have gone for a medium rear, but I went for a soft. And started to slow them down a bit. But, overall, the whole experience of the game is really, really positive. I've already pre-ordered my copy. If you're a MotoGP fan and, you've been looking at MotoGP 19 and wondering how is this game going to stack up against MotoGP 18, it blows MotoGP 18 out of the water. It is a massive, massive improvement. So if you're a MotoGP fan and you're thinking about MotoGP 19, I would suggest pre-ordering it. I would suggest buying it. And that was just having, a maximum of an hour playtime on it. So, it plays well. It's everything that we want in a MotoGP game. And of course as well, going back to the online, we got lobby searches now, which is a huge, huge thing. So really happy that they're back. So also Moto E will be in the game. It'll be a day 1 update which will put Moto E in the game. And also something which I thought was pretty awesome to find out about was that in career mode you get to do the official pre-season test at Valencia, complete with a carbon fibre livery for your bike. So that's pretty cool. So looking forward to MotoGP 19. That will be out on June the 6th, so not long to wait. Like I said, I've pre-ordered mine already, so looking forward to getting my hands on that full time and doing obviously a career playthrough and online stuff, and obviously the league as well. So again, a big thank you to everyone who has helped me get to where I am and help me and support me, and you know, for the invitation to the event as well. Like I said, still can't believe it happened, but I feel very fortunate and very lucky to be picked to go. So again, a big thank you to all the people that have been involved with the invitation and getting me to the studio and home again safely. And a big thank you to you guys for all the support and everything. I really appreciate it. Never thought in my wildest dreams I would be in a game studio testing out a brand new game which isn't even out yet. So absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content. I shall see you guys in the next video. See you.